Here's a summary of the conversation with former pharmaceutical representative Brigham Buhler on the broken American healthcare system. The American healthcare system is a mess, and it's not just about the cost. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America is healthcare costs, and it's a staggering reality that has become all too common. But what's driving this problem? According to Buhler, it's corporate capture. The incentives in the system are geared towards monetizing and capitalizing on chronic disease, rather than driving health span or curing chronic disease. The primary care system is also flawed, with doctors having only 6 minutes with each patient and being controlled by insurance companies. This has led to a system where profits are prioritized over people's health. The insurance industry is a significant player in this game, with the big 5 insurance companies making 4 times the revenue of the biggest 5 pharmaceutical companies. They control every aspect of healthcare, from surgeries to treatments, and have a vested interest in keeping people on prescription drugs. The average American is on 4 or more prescription drugs, which is a staggering statistic. But what's driving this? Is it because we're chronically ill, or is it because we're lazy? The system is rigged against the people, with insurance companies making huge profits from prescription drugs. The pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, were established to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies and drive down the cost of healthcare. However, they were captured by the insurance companies, who now use them to negotiate up the price of drugs and make huge profits. The opioid crisis is a prime example of this. 30% of the revenue generated from opioid abuse went to the big insurance companies, who negotiated rebates on opioids and profited from the crisis. The head of the FDA even went on to work for Pharma, the company that brought the opioid crisis to market. Today, opioids are hard to get, but the equivalent of a 747 jet worth of people are dying every day from opioid-related deaths. The black market has taken over, and people are turning to products from Mexico that are cut with fentanyl. Pharma is now selling a new blockbuster drug for opioid abuse, which is also addictive. It's a vicious cycle that perpetuates the problem and lines the pockets of big pharma and big insurance. The restrictions on opioids have made it harder for clinicians to prescribe them, but the problem persists. The overprescription of opioids has led to a boom in bad actors, and the same is happening with GLP-1s and weight loss drugs. The system is broken, and it's time for a change. Buhler emphasized the importance of addressing the root cause of health issues rather than just treating symptoms. He noted that prescribing GLP-1s without discussing diet, lifestyle, and nutrition is counterintuitive, likening it to brushing teeth while eating Oreos. Buhler stressed that the root cause of many health problems is diet, lifestyle, and nutrition. The conversation turned to the opioid crisis, with Buhler explaining that the reduction in opioid prescriptions has led to a black market for these drugs. He recalled his efforts to educate clinicians about the dangers of opioids and promote alternative pain management options, such as ketamine-based pain creams. However, insurance companies eventually stopped covering these alternatives, forcing patients back onto opioids. Buhler attributed this decision to the insurance companies' financial interests, as they were making money from opioid prescriptions. He also highlighted the role of compounding pharmacies, which create customized medications for patients. These pharmacies are often at odds with Big Pharma, which seeks to discredit them and maintain control over the market. Buhler noted that Big Pharma has a history of prioritizing profits over patient safety, citing the example of Bayer, which knowingly infected people with HIV in the 1980s. Buhler expressed concern about the future of the psychiatric drug world, particularly with regard to SRIs. He pointed out that these drugs have a high failure rate, can increase suicidal ideation, and are often no more effective than placebos. Buhler advocated for a more holistic approach to mental health, emphasizing the importance of diet, exercise, and lifestyle. Buhler noted that exercise-based treatments, such as dance therapy, have shown promise in reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety. He emphasized the need for a more nuanced understanding of mental health, one that takes into account the complex interplay between biology, environment, and lifestyle. The conversation also touched on the topic of transparency and how it's affecting the system. Buhler believes that the powers that be are terrified of the increased transparency and the potential for change. He thinks that the pharmaceutical industry is particularly scared, and that politicians are also wary of taking on these powerful institutions. One area where Buhler thinks there's an opportunity for change is with pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. These are companies that are owned by insurance companies and make a profit off of prescription drug care. Buhler believes that this is a clear conflict of interest and that PBMs should be regulated. The conversation then turned to the medical industry and the lack of safety testing for many medical devices. Buhler explained that 92% of products in the operating room have never had a human safety study. Buhler also talks about the Wild West nature of the medical industry, where devices are often used without proper testing or regulation. The conversation then turned to the topic of metabolic health and how it's connected to chronic diseases. Buhler believes that if we can incentivize people to take care of their metabolic health, we can prevent many of these diseases from developing in the first place. He also talks about how the US compares to other developed countries in terms of healthcare outcomes and how we're actually quite far behind. Buhler thinks that the future of medicine lies in algorithm-based medicine and large language models. He believes that with the rapid advancements in healthcare technology, it's possible to stay alive long enough to benefit from future medical breakthroughs. The key is to delay the onset of chronic diseases, which can be achieved by getting proactive and predictive in one's 20s. By using algorithm-based medicine and monitoring health 24/7, individuals can make slight adjustments in their lifestyle to delay the onset of chronic diseases. Buhler emphasized the importance of making healthcare fun and approachable. He believes that gamification is the key to making healthcare more engaging. By giving individuals small wins and tangible measuring sticks, they can be motivated to make healthier choices. The conversation also touched on the importance of finding a good doctor and taking control of one's healthcare. Buhler advised listeners to find a cash pay clinic in their area and to do a basic blood panel to get a comprehensive understanding of their health. He also emphasized the importance of doing research and understanding the treatment options before making any decisions. Ultimately, Buhler and the host agree that the American healthcare system is in need of significant reform, and that it will require a concerted effort to address the corruption and collusion that has led to its current state. The conversation ends with a call to action, encouraging listeners to take control of their healthcare and to demand change from the powers that be. Main learning from Video L. The system is driven by corporate capture, with insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies prioritizing profits over people's health. The #1 cause of bankruptcy in America is healthcare costs, and the system incentivizes doctors to prescribe expensive treatments and medications, rather than focusing on preventative care. Buhler emphasizes the importance of addressing the root cause of health issues, such as diet, lifestyle, and nutrition, rather than just treating symptoms. He also highlights the flaws in the system, including the overprescription of opioids and the lack of transparency in the medical industry. The conversation also touches on the importance of metabolic health, algorithm-based medicine, and gamification in making healthcare more engaging.
Ultimately, Buhler and Williamson agree that the American healthcare system is in need of significant reform, and that it will require a concerted effort to address the corruption and collusion that has led to its current state. The key takeaways from this conversation are the need for transparency, accountability, and a focus on preventative care in the healthcare system. By addressing the root causes of health issues and incentivizing people to take care of their metabolic health, we can prevent many chronic diseases from developing in the first place. To access the complete 18-minute summary and unlock detailed insights for each topic discussed in the video, please subscribe to Quick Podcast Summaries on Spotify and Apple Podcasts with free trial, and later, just for the price of candy in most places. Happy listening.